Welcome back, Sebastian here. So moving on next to Williams, doing my season preview for the 2024 Formula One season. So for Williams, there are two drivers for this season, Alex Albon and Logan Sargent. So first I'm just going to introduce them, kind of go over some of their career stats. So starting with Alex Albon from Thailand, but of course born in London, 27 years of age, and this past season, 2023, he finished 13th in the Drivers' Championship. Pretty decent season, I thought. For him, some could even say a breakout season. He's going in his fifth year in Formula One this year, and it will be his third year with Williams. He has 81 career races and 228 career points. The majority of those were scored with Red Bull in 2020 in the second half of 2019. Two podiums as well, both of those driving for Red Bull. Of course, no wins, poles, or championships for him. Then we have Logan Sargent, sophomore driver driving his second season F1 this year, of course from the United States. Our first full-time driver from the United States in a very long time, I think since Scott Speed. I know we had Alex Rossi in there for a couple races, but really first permanent full-time driver in almost 2 decades. So for Sargent, 23 years of age, he finished 21st last year. Not great given that there's only, in theory, 20 drivers in the championship. Of course, got beaten by both by Lawson and Ricciardo in the Drivers' Championship. This is his, like I said, second season F1. Of course, it'll be second season with Williams. He has 22 career races and, of course, one career point score. That was at the United States Grand Prix. Somewhat fortuitous circumstances with both Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton being disqualified, but still, a point is a point. Of course, no podiums, wins, poles, or championships for him. Now, taking a look at kind of their record over the past 4 seasons, they've just been gradually kind of improving, I feel, those 4 years. 2020, of course, was their second year after their absolute rock bottom year of 2019. Still no points, 10th in the Constructors, of course, no points finishes, but they were much closer to the teams above them. 2021, 23 points, 8th in the Constructors, and 6-point finishes. Now, some of those, quite a few of those points were quite fortuitous, coming in either the Hungarian Grand Prix or the Belgian Grand Prix, but still, points are points. 2022, first year of the new regulations, 8 points that year. A bit of a step back, obviously, compared to 2021. They were the slowest team by a margin, a decent margin, but still, it wasn't absolutely awful. 10th in the Constructors, but 5 points finishes. 2023, really nice improvement from 2022. 28 points, 7th in the Constructors, and 8-point finishes. Their team principal, James Vowles, he's been there since 2023. Their chief technical officer is Pat Fry. Of course, very experienced man in Formula One circles. Been around quite a few different teams. And of course, they use Mercedes engines, which they've been using, I believe, since 2014. Now, I think talking about expectations for this season, I do think that they'll be expecting maybe another small step forward. I do feel like, I think compared to what the team expected last year, 2023 was a bit of a, I think they kind of hit a bit higher than they would have hoped for. So this year we'll see how it goes. It might be more of the same this year. I think in a best case scenario, they could be fighting with Alpine. I don't think they'll be fighting with any of the teams in the top 5 unless any of them have built an absolute shocker of a car. I do think they need to be wary though of Racing Bulls. Racing Bulls, of course, are going to be using a lot more Red Bull parts this year, so I do think that will, assuming they haven't built a disaster of a car elsewhere with the parts of the car that they have to build themselves, I do think that Racing Bulls should be pretty competitive, and I think there'll be pretty stiff competition. So I don't think I think probably 8th place in the Constructors is probably where they'll end up, but we never know. So yeah, that's kind of my preview for the Williams team for 2024 F1 season. Obviously for Albon, I think big year for him, out of contract at the end of the year, like I mentioned earlier, or not earlier, in a previous video. He, of course, may be looking at a promotion to a seat somewhere else further up the grid. And for Sargent, I think there'll be a lot of pressure on him after his rookie season, which was quite poor. Even by most metrics, even just looking at rookie seasons and looking at seasons where the rookie didn't have a ton of experience, still not a great season. I think he'll definitely be needing a solid step forward if he wants to stay in F1 beyond this year. I think a good comparison would be Tsunoda's 2022 season. He has to be quite a bit closer to Albon. I don't think he has to beat Albon, of course, but I do think he has to be quite a bit closer to Albon than he was last year. So that's all for my preview of Williams. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.